This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 9th day of May in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Committee members of the Guyana Public Service Credit Union are gearing up to elect a new chairman from among themselves after declaring today that Mr. Trevor Ben, who was voted in the position last year, no longer enjoys the confidence of the full membership of the Committee of Management. Among other things, Secretary of the Credit Union's Management Committee, Jillian Pollard, claimed that Mr. Ben has leaked confidential information, although she could not say what the information entailed. Another member of the Management Committee, Jeremy Hermanstein, said the matters raised could have been ventilated at the level of the board.
All 12 members of the Management Committee, we signed a confidential agreement that, you cannot go publicly to discuss it. In our opinion, some of the things that Trevor Ben discussed out there publicly, he did not give us an opportunity to sit as a board to say that, okay, this is my concern and this is the concern that I have. We did not get an opportunity to deliberate on those things.
In a letter to the credit union last week, the Chief Co-op Officer, Debbie Prasad, said she received a no-confidence motion notice, which was moved against Mr. Ben, and she affirmed that the motion was properly carried. She then directed the Vice Chair, Patrick Mentor, to act as chairman. But Mr. Mentor stated that he will continue to act as Vice Chair and will not be taking up the position as chairman. The Credit Union's Committee of Management also claimed that Ben wanted to be chair and CEO, and that was rejected by the committee.
But it seems as if this whole issue is just because this one man can't be in charge. Just because he can't be chairman, this was causing this problem. And you guys have got to see this. How could, chairman and CEO. How could you guys not see this? This is what really caused the problem. This is a man who, because he cannot have his way, he gone out there and talking a whole bunch of crap.
The members said they are also aggrieved because their efforts to better the credit union were not being recognized, and it was appearing as though it was a Mr. Ben show. Committee member Leslie Noble said removing Mr. Ben is to the benefit of all the credit union's members.
This decision was made in the best interest of the members, so that our members can have what you call a prosperous economic and social development in the credit union.
In a separate briefing today, Mr. Ben said he was never told of the meeting that saw the no-confidence motion being tabled and passed against him. He said he found out about it through social media posts. He's also denied the claims that he attempted to run any one-man show at a credit union, and has even pointed to not taking up overseas and other trips when various opportunities posed themselves. The annual general meeting of the credit union, which was due since last month to elect new office holders, including a chairman, has been further postponed, with the board members today saying they cannot give a date for the holding of the meeting. When those elections are called, Trevor Ben will likely contest again for the position of chairman. More news coming up in just a moment.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Plans are moving forward for the establishment of the landmark gas-to-energy project. Gas will be piped from the Stabroek block operations to shore. The project is expected to cut electricity rates by more than half and deliver significant benefits to Guyanese.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of mobile lubricants.
Guyana, get ready for the biggest Independence Weekend. Genesis Band and Utopia Launch 2022.
7 exciting events.
Starting with Touchdown Cool Effect with Patrice Roberts.
On Wednesday, May 25th.
Stinging Nettles.
El Dorado Rum Inclusive.
With Soca Sensation Kesta Band.
On Thursday, May 26th.
Moderation with rising dancehall artists Skang, Chenille Meir,
Drew Colvin, Gully Ras, and Kush.
as well as
Chutney Ray.
featuring Ravi B,
Kenneth Salek.
Bacardi,
Tony Cuts.
Bonita Willie,
And Shakti Strings on Friday, May 27th.
Snakes and Dutchy Duvet, as well as Eden.
A gold and white toga party.
On Saturday, May 28th.
And Soca and Wine.
On Sunday, May 29th. Are you ready
Are you ready
to see the hot costumes for Cricket Carnival?
that will be displayed at every event?
Brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment
King Leo Promotion.
and the Cricket Carnival Committee.
Follow our social media pages at Genesis Band for more details.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100, dollar. Come get your Buster, Buster $100, dollar.
The governments of Guyana and Saudi Arabia today signed an air services agreement to promote and facilitate the expansion of international air services opportunities between the two countries. The agreement was signed today in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, by Minister of Transport and Logistics Services of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Salah bin Nazir Al Jasir, and Guyana's Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgel. During remarks, Minister Edgel said the agreement paves the way for competitive air transport services between Guyana and Saudi Arabia. He said presently there is no direct flight between Guyana and Saudi Arabia. However, the agreement puts in place the legal framework that open market access for airlines to operate and enhance competitive air transport services, trade, and economic growth between the two countries. The agreement addresses matters pertaining to grant of rights, designation and revocation, use of charges, recognition of certificates and license, tariffs, commercial opportunities, fair competition, and environmental protection, among others. Carriers from the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia have been playing a significant role in global connectivity for passengers and cargo over the last 2 decades. Saudi, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, is the third largest airline in the Middle East in terms of revenue, coming just behind Emirates and Qatar Airways. Against that backdrop, Minister Edgel said he hopes that the agreement, which was signed today, will see the airlines flying the Guyana, Caribbean, and other routes in the region. The agreement complements the more than 50 air services agreements that Guyana has established with other international members for the development of the air link among states. The Civil Defense Commission is encouraging citizens across the country to be prepared for consistent rainfall over the next 2 months as the rainy season is now in full effect. The warning from the CDC comes in wake of a freak storm over the weekend, which saw more than 20 properties at Bad Settlement Berbice being damaged. In some cases, the entire roofs for some homes were completely blown off. A CDC assessment team visited the area yesterday and found that almost 2 kilometers of property were affected along a straight path heading northeast to southwest. The CDC said many residents have reported losses, ranging from severe damage to their property to damage to their farmlands and even livestock. The CDC also said a quantity of food and cleaning hampers have been delivered to the regional chairman of Region 5, and distribution has already started. Additional supplies are to be handed over to the region to assist the affected residents. The CDC is warning that over the next 24 hours, more heavy rainfall is expected, with more than 2.7 inches of rain expected to be dumped in areas across the country in coming days. The The issue of overpayment to contractors and poor record keeping by accounting officers under the former APN AFC government was once again at the center of the Public Accounts Committee work on Monday, when the committee met to scrutinize the spending of Region 8 for several projects in infrastructure, health and other sectors for the years 2017 and 2018. Opposition member of the PAC, Ganesh Mahipal, today flagged one issue in particular, where a contractor was paid more than $5 million for a $6 million project, long before works were started on that project.
I hear the REO when he said that the bridge is completed. I hear the REO when he said that the work was done. But the fundamental here has to do with the principle. And the principle is you pay for measured works. You pay for works that are completed. You don't assume completion. It's very good that the work is completed. But the point is, if the work was not completed, then what would have happened to this money?
In some instances, there is no documentation to show for the award of several contracts, as well as payment information for those contracts, although some information was provided to show that works were indeed executed. The issue the PAC observed has been occurring from as far back as 2011 and was never really addressed. Another PAC member, Jurita Finance, expressed disgust over the issue.
As it is right now, the documents that are available is records from the audit office and that alone. And that has been exhausted. Every question we've asked points to record that the issue at hand is, and that's why I spoke to record keeping. The issue at hand is that they're saying that there is no record of what was. So obviously all the questions that are following through with when and where and how, the answer keeps coming to us that the records are not there.
In addition to the question of poor record keeping, it was found that Region 8 has been overpaying contractors, sometimes doling out millions for work yet to be completed. The REO of the region was grilled on the issue of fuel for the region. It was found that records for fuel distributed could not be located, although he said the matter has since been remedied.
We have documents, would have been the check orders that would have been cleared, attesting to the fact that the fuel paid for were actually received. But the problem is the distribution of that fuel. Where did it go? Who got what? That is the sort of record we cannot put together.
Meanwhile, government PAC member Dr. Vishwa Mahadio said such a practice must come to an end.
I'm highlighting this as a warning to across the country to agencies to know that this thing here should not be done, will not be tolerated.
The Public Accounts Committee has been pressing accounting officers in various government departments to be much more vigilant with their work. Although the number of COVID-19 cases remains low in Guyana, there have been cases of persons experiencing long COVID. In cases of long COVID, someone can experience symptoms of the virus for several weeks or even months. During his COVID-19 update today, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said training programs will begin soon for local doctors to get them to better detect and treat cases of long COVID. Experts from the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York are expected to lead those training programs.
We have persons who are coming to the clinics, and we are spending a lot more time now focusing our attention on the rehabilitation of these patients. And in June, the first week of June, we'll have a training for physicians, a lecture that would be done by one of the top experts at Mount Sinai. And this would be done for Guyanese physicians. So we are hoping with the training that a lot more of the medical doctors would become familiar with long COVID, and hopefully they'll be able to detect it and to offer proper treatment for these patients.
The health minister said persons who are suffering from cases of long COVID could have breathing problems, loss of taste, depression, and insomnia going on for months.
The best thing for them to do if they've had COVID and they're experiencing those signs and symptoms that I mentioned, the best thing for them to do is to come in and see the doctor and to get in touch with the team, the multidisciplinary team that we have at the GPHC, that can work on these long COVID symptoms.
The Ministry of Health has been encouraging persons to continue safeguarding themselves against the virus, with most of the restrictions lifted. Over the past 2 months, Guyana has seen a big decline in new COVID-19 infections and deaths. A 23-year-old Burmese man is in custody and is likely to face drug trafficking charges this week after more than 65 pounds of marijuana was found in a taxi. According to a police statement on Saturday, just outside the Weldad police station in West Berbice, ranks were carrying out roadblock duties when a taxi was stopped and the passenger identified several large bags as belonging to him. The vehicle was pulled aside for additional searches, and the ranks found 15 large plastic-wrapped parcels. A search of those parcels uncovered a large amount of marijuana. The passenger, who said he's unemployed, was immediately taken into custody as the marijuana was confiscated. Charges are being prepared against him, and he's expected to be standing in front of a magistrate to answer those charges this week. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
Tell it to your enemy and tell it to your friend. Watch Guyanese girl, them a hurtle, and them a do it in a circle. Watch me, missing each and every year. Flashback come again. Tell it to your enemy and tell it to your friend. Well, if you're ready for the party, yeah then. Flashback, tell them a the trend. Follow me sing. This are not anti butterfly nor no bees. No girl can whine like Guyanese. Watch the young them a do it in a circle. Guyanese girls them a dance in a circle. Hear me and say no, me go banter. You know I sound boy killer represent the Golden Smile family. You know say flashback old school party. You know say oh the vibes is plenty. Slow down.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Dollar, come get your Buster, Buster $100. Dollar. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, former Haitian Senator John Joel Joseph, a suspect in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse last July, appeared in the U.S. court in Miami today on charges of conspiracy to kill or kidnap outside the U.S. He was also charged with providing material support to someone trying to commit that crime, resulting in death. Joseph was identified by Haitian police as a suspect in the assassination just days after gunmen stormed Moïse's home and shot him dead in a brazen assault that shocked the world and plunged the country into political turmoil. Joseph fled Haiti and was arrested in Jamaica in January. The U.S. said in March that it was seeking to extradite him. U.S. prosecutors have already filed similar charges against former Colombian soldier Mario Palacios and dual Haitian-Chilean citizen Rodolphe Jar. The 50-member Caribbean community grouping CARICOM today expressed profound sorrow at the loss of lives with the collapse of the Hotel Saratoga in Cuba last week following a gas explosion. CARICOM described the incident as tragic and wished a full and speedy recovery to those who were injured. CARICOM said it is confident that the renowned resilience of the Cuban people will enable them to recover from the disaster, and CARICOM stands in solidarity with the government and people of Cuba during this difficult time. The chairman of CARICOM, the Prime Minister of Belize, John Braceno, had earlier sent messages of strength and solidarity to the President and people of Cuba, adding that the hearts of the region and thoughts go out to everyone affected by the tragedy. He said he's pleased to know that the doctors and students from Belize were among the first to visit the scene of the tragedy to provide help. And finally tonight, international news. French President Emmanuel Macron believes it will take decades for Ukraine to be accepted into the European Union. In a speech at the EU's parliament, he instead suggested that Ukraine could join a parallel European community while it awaited a decision. This would allow, he said, non-EU members to join Europe's security architecture in other ways. Ukraine began the process of applying to join the bloc in February this year, 4 days after Russia's invasion. The French president said they all know perfectly well that the process to allow Ukraine to join would take several years, probably several decades. He said the truth is that unless they decide to lower the standards for ascension and rethink the unity of Europe, it will take those long years for Ukraine to join and get membership of the EU. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.